Hello? 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 Hi. Hi. Just before the work started on the concrete driveway, I spent a few hours reconnecting a water line. This hose spigot was disconnected when the demo occurred way back when. Not only this spigot, but the pipes run through the garage to another hose spigot in the front yard. And the pipes continue to the front of the driveway to water some bushes. It's always nice to have extra hose options, even if they are scarcely used. Once the concrete driveway is poured, the option of reconnecting these goes away, or just gets a lot more difficult. So, let's get to work. Here, take this. Help? No? I cleared out the stuff in the way and started digging a trench along the building to the active water lines. This dirt is mostly clay, not easy to dig with just a shovel, so I used a hammer drill to speed up the process. This required a bunch of soldering, so I got right to work. I closed the valve to the splice point and drained as much water out of the line as I could before cutting the pipe. This is where I'll tee off to run the new pipe. In order to properly solder, the pipe has to be really clean, which can be done by sanding all the grime off the pipe until it looks like new. All of my soldering experience is trial by fire. I watched a few YouTube videos and gave it a shot. My joints may not look the cleanest, but they hold up. It's important to keep the pipes clean. I set them on rags or paper towels and never on the dirt. Before putting the new piece in place, I brushed on a bunch of flux paste. I don't know the science behind this additive, but it's the secret ingredient to a successful solder. Kind of like how eggs are to baking. Without it, it won't be good. The flux goes on wherever the copper pipe is going to touch, plus a little more. In my experience, you can't put too much on, but you can definitely put too little on. When the piece was in place, I lit my torch and started heating the pipe. I have a length of solder out ready to go. Once the pipe is heated to the right temperature, it just sucks the solder into the seam like magic. I then run the end of the solder around the pipe to get full coverage of the joint. And that's it. That connection is done, and I can move on to the next. Since the pipe was hot, I joined the other side of the T right away. All of my pieces were cleaned and ready, so I added on an elbow, a straight piece, and a threaded piece for a PVC connection. Thread tape went on the pipe before the PVC to have a leak-proof connection there. I decided to run the length of the pipe as PVC because it's cheaper, more flexible, and easier to work with. When I got to the other end of the trench, I had to dig down a little further and connected the PVC with thread tape, same as before. Alright, it's been a couple hours. The PVC glue should be dry, so I'm going to charge the line and we're going to see if we have any leaks. Well, that sounds pretty good. Alright, so I think we're good. Or at least the lines, we're pressurized, but we gotta empty all the air out. There's gonna be a bunch of air in the line. There should be a bunch of air in the line. Houston, we have a problem. The line was definitely charged, but something was blocking it. I've had to replace 3 or 4 valves at this house already, so my guess is that this valve has gone bad as well. I started dissecting the valve and found the problem right away. Yep, that's a broken valve. Twist and twist and twist and doesn't do anything. I cut off the broken valve and did a reverse solder to pull the old piece out of this connection. I don't think there needs to be a valve here, so I just added a straight piece and elbow downwards and reconnected it to the old vertical piece. All of my connections were good, and I didn't have any leaks. However, it was brought to my attention that having female PVC connected to male brass or copper is much more likely to crack than vice versa. In other words, the PVC should thread on the inside instead of the outside. I got an adapter, and it was an easy fix for both ends of the pipe. I gave the PVC glue ample time to cure, then retested for leaks. It was all clear. All the hose spigots worked like new. I refilled in the trench and compacted it down. This is one of those jobs that generally goes unnoticed. There's a hose spigot there, so it's expected to work. If it didn't work, someone could ask why I didn't take the opportunity to reconnect it when I had the chance. I may only use this hose a few times a year, but for those few times, the work will have been worth it. After the concrete was poured, I added an underground box to the front of the driveway and put a hose spigot inside. Not sure if it'll ever be used, but just like the others, it's nice that it's there. I'm really glad that I did this. Okay, that's it for now. See ya.